Hey, I feel blessed today. What an awesome day to be alive. And I hope it's the same way you're feeling, whatever part of the world you're listening to me from. You know, one of the key 5 framework pillars of my training and my whole philosophy about money, wealth, legacy, and purpose is clarity. That is the foundational pillar of my teaching. And a lot of people ask me, Gustav, why do you talk so much about clarity? Why are you insisting on clarity? I insist on clarity because it's the foundation. If you don't know where you're going, you don't know where to start. If you don't have a destination, then you'll be running around as someone who has no idea of where they're headed. Guys, so it's about 10 a.m. in the morning today, and I am actually leading a very important component of my rich life. And what clarity does is it gives you a chance to be able to define what that rich life is for you. One of the things I recognize and realize helping to coach high-earning professionals, teach them how to build million-dollar portfolios, everyday hard-working immigrants, helping to show them how they can multiply their money, build wealth, and build a lasting legacy. One of the things I realize is people don't have clarity a lot of times on what is it that gives them joy in life, what their purpose is, where they are trying to go with their life, and what is it that gives them true contentment and a connection with their spirit. I say this because we live in a time today when the messages you hear a lot is if you don't make money, you don't have so much money, you cannot be happy. I want to beg to differ. That is a false narrative, guys. And I'm saying that from somebody who has failed, succeeded, worked hard. Not where I was aspiring to be by this time, but not where I used to be. But I know that I'm going to get to my destination. Relatively successful, has made some money, lost some, learned how to invest on the market, and I've coached hundreds of people. So I'm not telling you from nothing. I'm talking to you from a background of understanding, of knowledge, experience, and raw data. Guys, what will give you the greatest joy in life is not the amount of money that you accumulate, but what you define that money should do for you and your legacy. I want you to hear me very well. I remember when I was much younger, I used to watch a guy called, not much younger, he's still my mentor till today. He is called Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn will usually say, it is not about what you are getting from the job, it's about what you are becoming. Because he says money is just a conduit, it's a tool, and it's not the end game. Money permits you to do the things that gives you contentment, gives you meaning, and gives you purpose in your life. So today, guys, I'm sitting out here at Whole Foods in my neighborhood. It's a beautiful, you cannot ask for a better day, guys. It's a beautiful day today in my neighborhood. It's not too cold, it's not too hot, it's kind of a spring day. We're in March. I know it's not spring yet, but it's kind of starting to be that way. The temperature is somewhere about 60 degrees. The sun is out. So there's this cold breeze. I have to put on a muffler and a long sleeve warm shirt. But at the same time, it's not too hot for that. And you know what? I am sitting out at the porch in Whole Foods. I bought 2 croissants, as you can see, a chocolate croissant, a regular croissant. I have my cup of coffee, and I am just reflecting, ideating on the next things I have to do, ruminating on some different inspiration that I have to put in books and videos, and planning on more material and important things that I have to teach you to get your lives to the next level where you aspire to be. This is one of the highlights of my life. This is one of the highlights of my day and my week usually. Whenever I have a chance to just come to Whole Foods by myself, I buy coffee or I buy croissant if it's in the morning. Sometimes I come in the afternoon during lunch, like 1 p.m. They have a lunch bar here at Whole Foods. And I choose a few things to eat, some salmon, some asparagus, vegetables, and things like that. And I can't sit out here and I just watch people go in and out. There's a light breeze. I take a drink and I'm drinking my coffee and eating my croissant or having my lunch. Boy, ideas keep flooding in my head. Inspiration is running like a fountain in my spirit. And you know what? That single action gives me a lot of meaning, joy, and contentment in my life. At the same time, it's not a very costly action. By the time I'm through with this croissant and my coffee, I made my coffee from home. So I didn't buy it here. I just came and bought 2 croissants for $5. And I have my cup of coffee. But the value of that action is bigger than any amount of money you can pay. The reason why is because I have defined to me what my why is. I have clarity on what my goals in life and purposes are. I have clarity on what gives me joy, what gives me contentment, what is it that makes me feel uplifted and feel like my life is representing something meaningful. And one of those things is when I have the privilege to sit out on a beautiful day like this and just enjoy coffee, enjoy a croissant, recognizing that I have the freedom to work on projects that are important to me. Recognizing that I have the ability, because I have decided to carve out that possibility to work on the things that I believe have been mandated to me by God to deliver on. So guys, why don't you go ahead and make sure you spend time to determine clearly what is it that is your rich life. I am not talking about somebody else's perception of a rich life. What is it that gives you the sentiment of richness? Because sitting here right now, eating my thing and having my coffee, I feel rich. Number one, this is the hour where a lot of times most people are expected to be at work. I am at work practically, but it's not traditional work, right? Number two, I am having the time to reflect not only on my life but on ideas and things that I could bring to the marketplace, and it creates value for other people. Number three, and most importantly, I believe that this action, this time gives me a means to continue to build on something that represents my legacy, and legacy is important to me. I hope you see the connection between the simple things and how it can make you feel rich and feel happy and feel successful. I want you to spend time, if you haven't yet, to work on deciding what that rich life is for you, deciding what that purpose is for you, deciding exactly what the steps are that you need to get there, deciding to give the discipline of 10, 15, 20 years of consistent investing on the stock market and building assets and building wealth. Deciding that you will spend your energy on the things that bring value, and you are not going to focus on the things that drain your energy, that drain your aspiration, and takes you away from the goal of your life. Deciding that you are going to dedicate a good chunk of your life to convert your gift into value that other people can tap and be blessed into. You know, a lot of times people always pray and say, you know what, God, please send me a destiny helper. Every day I make a prayer about destiny helpers, but you know my own prayer? I say, God, make me a destiny helper. Because when I become a destiny helper, naturally, destiny helpers that I need are going to be attracted into my life. You know, I have a mentor of mine out of Dallas. He died many years ago, and I always forget his name each time. But I remember this quote by him. He said, you know, in order to get the things you want in your life, just give enough people the things they want in their own lives. It is counterintuitive. It is totally against what we are taught in this time and age. It is all about you. It is all about what you like. It is all about what you desire. It is all about the things you want. But we forget that for you to get the things you want, you must make sure you give other people the things they want. Because when you do that, the things you want is going to come to you. Remember, you don't build wealth. You don't build success, sorry. You attract success by becoming the person that you attract success. A lot of people in relationships, for example, whether it's a child, it's a spouse, it's a partner, you are always wanting to change them. Have you ever asked yourself that, why don't I become the person that I aspire them? Why don't I become the person that naturally conveys to them the necessity to become attracted to? That is how I approach problems in my life for the last 7 to 8 years now. When I started really working on having clarity on these things. And that has helped me a lot, because I don't argue a lot with my spouse, with my children. I don't argue anymore. I simply try to become the person that explains what I wanted to verbally explain to them by becoming that person. I try to protect my peace, because in peace you can function. So I didn't want to make it long today, guys, but I just wanted to say, you know what? Figure out your own rich life. Don't worry about my own rich life. Don't worry about anybody else's rich life. Because at the end of the day, it only has value if you perceive it to have value. It only makes sense if you believe it makes sense. It only makes you happy, content, and fulfilled with your life if it has meaning. Until the next time, I'll see you in the next video. And if you're new to the channel, or if you're not new, you've watched me before but you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to cross the 2,000 mark, right? 2,000 subscriber mark. Help us. Subscribe, share this video, click the like button, so that way the algorithm will know that you are here and you are loving what we are putting out there. You be well, be blessed, and by all means, never stop being a blessing to somebody. Until the next time, I will keep living my rich life and eating my chocolate croissant.